Hey there everyone, welcome to an unboxing video for the TLR 8XE. Now this is a 1/8 scale competition level buggy kit, and this is going to be part of a series of Horizon Insider content pieces that you'll be able to find. Well, if you're on Facebook, it's going to be on the wall, and if you're on YouTube, it's going to be on our horizonhobby.com YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to that. We do have two YouTubes. One is devoted more to hosting product videos and doing unboxings. The other ones were all like the tech tips are, things of that nature. So without further ado, let's get into unboxing this guy. Now, this video series is kind of from the Horizon Hobby customer point of view. And what I mean by that is not everyone that buys a TLR kit is a racer or someone that's going to be competing every single week. We want to build this as if we were a TLR customer. So we're going to give you all the tips that we've developed from January till now, which is when the car released, January 2019, and then even give you some of the stuff they learned back last summer when they were developing this. But we're going to try to give you stuff that's going to be reoccurring and updating throughout this season as far as like 2019 races. This is going to help, like I said, your average Joe Basher or your club racer or even your go to big races guy, hopefully to some extent. So we're going to try to talk to you guys from more of the point of view of like Horizon Hobby versus so much the engineering wise like TLR would. So if you're interested in learning really the in-depth setup stuff, the detailed stuff, I would recommend following TLR if you don't already, especially if you just bought one of these and you want to just kind of get, what's a good word, really dive in deep and learn everything about this kit. That's a good place to do it. I want to keep this more general, more for the broad audience. That way it might translate to other things other than TLR. You know, a lot of the tips and setup ideas, even little build tips, are going to translate to other kits, other brands, and that's kind of the goal of this video, is just to increase the awareness for the 8XE, one, but show other things you can do with a 8-scale competition buggy kit. So, hopefully that intro wasn't too long and I didn't lose you already. This hasn't even been opened. The seal is still intact on the sides and here. I point that out because that's an important thing. If this has been sitting on a hobby shop shelf, you want to make sure it's still sealed. That makes your life easier because you know nothing's been taken out of this, nothing's been changed. So when you get this kit, make sure it's still sealed. There might be a new seal on if you get like a production model that's like further down the road. We might have changed things, we might have added things in. So there might be another TLR sticker like on top of this. Don't freak out, that's probably us. If you're confused, give us a call, and we'd be happy to help and figure out if it was us or not. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these seals. And got to flip this over to get to this one. And again, this is a kit, so nothing's going to be assembled. This is going to be bags, tools, wheels, a body. So the first thing, I'm going to go ahead and hold this up, show you how it's packaged. Very nice. You get one set of yellow wheels. Yellow wheels are kind of a TLR low-C thing. Obviously we have white wheels and any 17mm hex wheel, especially buggy wheels, are going to fit this kit. So if you're watching this and you're wondering about putting foam tires on, or like black wheels or something, spoke wheels, and as long as 17mm hex is going to bolt right on. Nice new clear body. I'm a fan of this body for sure. Nice mid-cab, not really mid-cab, it's still cab forward, which that, when we're talking about the cab location, is kind of the location of where the driver would sit. We've kind of played around with this over the years on where the ideal location is. I believe this is a little further back than the 4.0, which is going to take a little steering out. In theory, everyone has their own driving preference. Looks like we're going to get right into the bags here. The first thing I pulled out is bag F, which it's actually really hard to tell what's in here. Looks like a bunch of chassis components. Here's bag E, which is a bunch of suspension components, hinge pins. There's the wings in there. A-arms are in there, wing mounts in there. A couple differential parts are in there. Here is bag B, which is the shock. So it looks like early on you're going to get the shocks knocked out, which is good. Bag A looks like it's all of the diff stuff. This is great. 8-scale diffs are pretty easy, but they are a little time consuming. So it looks like you knock out diffs and your shocks right away. Very cool. And I bet if it's anything like the 22 kit, bag C is your turnbuckles. So if you're unfamiliar with building a kit, kind of your big hold-up points seem to be always diffs, shocks, and the turnbuckles. So if you knock all those out of the way right away, it makes life a little bit easier. Bag G looks like some steering components. Here's an option part bag, which is good because you get different sway bars, you get your turnbuckle wrench, you get a couple extra screws, double-sided tape for your electronics, all those goodies, some thread lock. Bag D looks like the shock towers. So it looks like D and E are both, one's a front end, one's a rear end, because these both look identical in size, or inside, sorry. Bag H looks like a center dog bone and a radio tray cover. Kind of weird. And then here's our nice chassis. Very slick. And then you got your manual and some stickers. So that's it. The box is empty. One thing I think would be good to point out, especially if you're new to kit building, the bags are labeled for a reason. When you're going through this manual, you'll only have to open the bags in order. So don't go and just cut all this open because you're gonna all of a sudden mix up out drives, dog bones, things of that nature, screws. This is your key. Go through this. It's gonna tell you when to open bags, when to not open bags, and it's gonna make your life a lot easier as you're doing this kit. As far as build time goes, 8 scale kits, if it's your first build, probably gonna be looking at, sorry if I bumped the mic there. If it's your first build, you're probably going to be looking at 8 to 10 hours by the time you really go through this. Sounds like a lot. It's really an enjoyable process. Someone that builds these all the time could probably do this in 4 hours, maybe even less than 4 hours. 4 hours to 6 hours is probably average. But it's very enjoyable, and you're going to learn a lot building a kit, especially for racing. You're going to learn a lot of the setup options, things of that nature. So just, slot out a couple nights a week here and there, or knock it out one day on a weekend, whatever you got to do. It's an enjoyable experience, especially if, like I said, if this is your first kit. Had a lot of good reviews from the PD team and customers on how this vehicle went together. Well, aside from that, there's not a lot of pretty stuff to show you because it is a kit, but eventually it's going to look something like this. Again, make sure you subscribe if you're going to follow the series throughout the completion. I don't know how many videos it's going to be because there's going to be a lot of build videos. There's going to be some setup stuff. There's going to be probably some behind-the-scenes TLR tips that we can bring in, and we're just going to go with the flow and see how much time we need to devote to this. So again, this is the TLR 8XE, which is a 1/8 scale electric buggy competition level kit. Great for bashing. I know a lot of people don't think of these for bashing. It's a great basher kit. Obviously, it's a great racing kit. You can do dirt oval stuff with this. 8 scale E-Buggies can do almost everything. On-road racing, GT style racing, can do everything. So thanks again, and let us know what you want to see. We'll see you guys next time.